Hello and welcome to Online Golf Connection. Simon Weston here, PGA member of Australia. What we've got today is Fred Couples, very talented player, originally from Seattle, turned pro in 1980, so he's been around a long time. In that time he's won 15 PGA Tour events, including the 1992 US Masters. Came close a number of times in other majors, but just that one major to his name. Fred's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, 2013. As a young guy growing up in Australia, I used to love watching Fred Couples on TV. Just a very talented, naturally gifted player, and just a very popular player among his friends and peers on the tour. Fantastic ball striker, a long hitter. He still hits it well over 300 yards regularly. Perhaps not the greatest putter of all time, but on his day, made enough putts. He's certainly a proven winner, but never a player to practice a lot with his bad back, but still playing some great golf, playing the US Champions Tour. And let's take a look at his golf swing now. What we've got here on the left, down the line with the driver swing. Camera's a little bit low, but nicely positioned behind his hands. And then on the right, obviously an on-course golf swing. You can see the carts and the players in the background. Camera looks a little bit behind, to his right, camera left, but we'll still get a good view of what's going on here. Fred Couples is known for his sort of unique, unusual golf swing, and sort of does things his own way, but has never really changed the golf swing. I know for a while he was taught by Butch Harmon and a few other coaches, but his golf swing stayed pretty much the same since he turned pro, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. And why would you change it? Been so successful for him. Now we've got our basic starting lines here along the back of the legs, the front of the legs. See, the legs are quite straight for a good player. Also, Fred has a relatively upright posture. Now this is a driver, but even with the irons, he stands pretty upright to the ball. We'll start with this down the line view and let's get this swing underway. Now, it's pretty obvious here, the hand and the club head have moved significantly up in the air quite quickly. I mean, this is an upright takeaway. The left arm has moved a little bit out away from the body, sort of towards the golf ball. Club head still very far, pretty good in front of his hands, but his hands and arms are a long way from his body. As he continues back, when the left arm is parallel to the ground, you see a real obvious increase from the original shaft plane up to where he is here. So this is a rapidly upward movement in the backswing. As he continues to the top of the swing, doesn't move up a lot more in the second half of the swing, and most of the up has happened in the first half of the backswing. But the thing to remember about Fred Couples is he plays with a very strong left-hand grip. Now, sort of unusually as well, he doesn't wear a glove on his left hand. Not that makes a lot of difference, but he does address the ball with a very strong left hand grip, meaning that the thumb is down the right hand side of the handle. So to somewhat negate that, as he swings back, his left wrist has to cup up here. There's a kind of a cupping action with the left wrist. Right arm and elbow is very high at the top, so it's just, we say this is a pretty upright backswing. You see the right leg. The legs were pretty straight to start with, but the right leg now is almost straight completely. The head has moved down a little bit into the ground. It's also moved a little bit out towards the golf ball. So the downward movement is quite common among good players, but the head moving towards the ball a little bit, not so common. Now as he starts this downswing, you'll see what the left knee sort of seems to go towards the ball a little bit there. So he's starting this forward movement, and then it starts moving pretty good to the left. So that gets his downswing started. So the transition moving from the lower body through to the upper body. Right. So as he starts moving down into the golf ball, you'll see this shaft appears to be on still a relatively upright plane here, when it's slightly above this right shoulder coming down. He's really has a great body sequence. The lower body clears. Yep. You see Fred's in a great position here. The lower body's cleared. Shaft is a little more upright than some players, and the shaft is quite a bit above his right arm here. Now, if you remember where that original shaft plane was with the driver, you see he comes in, quite a bit above that, which is, pretty common. Shaft is certainly well above the original plane. Now, Fred always preferred to play the ball left to right. I think as he gets to the lower, he's hitting a few more draws, but always a fade or a high left to right ball flight. You see this ball sort of starting down the left, probably allowing for his natural fade. Certainly not a golf swing that you would see commonly, perhaps not one you probably want to try and copy, but all things being equal, been a great golf swing for this guy and been very successful. One of the interesting things about the face-on view on Fred, now again this camera view is not exactly as it should be, it's a little bit back, but I think the most obvious thing about Fred is he's got a big turn at the shoulders, but doesn't turn the lower body a lot. He's got tremendous resistance, pretty good width here. Always known to play with a pretty high right elbow, but better, in my opinion, better to be there than have it tucked into the side of the body. What I want you to notice though is as Fred starts this forward move down to hit the ball, there's I would say a very obvious, noticeable big push into the left side. Now, I like that. I think not everybody would do that. The other thing that Fred does at the same time is he really creates a narrow downswing into the golf ball. So you'll see at this point here when his shaft is parallel to the ground, the top edge of the club, the butt end of the club is almost over the golf ball. This is a fantastic position, very powerful position. Also with the forward push of the body and the openness of the hips through the golf ball. A lot of this has to do with compensating for his strong grip, so he's not going to hook it, kind of an anti-hook or an anti-left swing. Fred's just a great player and someone I've admired for many years. Perhaps if you're a new player, maybe not the best swing to try and copy, but yeah, you've got to realise everyone's different and a lot of ways to play golf well. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you very much.